welcome everybody to another week of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, your host, and I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at another flick. This stars Adam Brody and Jean-Claude Van Damme, or Jean-Claude Van Damme, however you want to pronounce it. He co-stars alongside Kirsten Shaw and Dennis Haysbert. 2012's Welcome to the Jungle. Now, before I get into the actual review, I want to really talk about this film. This right here is, I'm going to get this straight out of the way. This is one of the worst movies I watch on this channel. So let's talk about the plot, the positives, and we'll dive into what I think makes this film the worst experience of my life. So much hours. An hour and 35 minutes of my life wasted in a turd like this. Let's actually talk about the film. Now, this is a movie that was on the list of the road to 200, or the race to 200, however you want to say it. Unfortunately, that contest didn't go well, so Welcome to the Jungle was actually one of the nominated films. Unfortunately, this movie is just bad. Basically, the movie follows a former Marine, Storm Rothschild. Van Damme's character goes horribly wrong. He meets up with this office worker, Chris, who basically he works in office, basically works at a company that sells toilet paper. Yeah. Yikes. Toilet paper. So basically, his boss is telling him you and your coworkers had to head to the island. And that's really sums it up that much. Now, let's get to a couple of positives. I thought Kirsten Shaw was actually the best thing of this movie. I thought Kirsten Shaw was very funny. If it was in a right script. I thought Van Damme was good. If he was in a right script. Also, I have a couple of complaints. This movie is slapped with not rated, but this movie feels like an R-rated film. For one, there's a lot of F-bombs. There is some female breasts in the movie. Yes, female breasts are shown in this movie. Yes, most of the time there are like 10 F-bombs throughout this film. Why Universal made this not rated is just beyond me. I'll put that down right here. And yeah, and put it together, and you got yourself a really, hopefully it stays right there, a really bad movie. For one, there are a couple funny scenes with Kirsten Shaw. She plays a complainer, and I love Kirsten Shaw in pretty much anything from Gravity Falls to Bob's Burgers. Here in this case, not utilized well. Even her early stuff like The Concords and that show she did with Wolf Horto. Those are great. However, it's put in the wrong script. There's also a couple scenes where Van Damme is testing people out and he gets attacked by a tiger. That's funny. But it's done so many times and gets way tedious. You can see where I'm going, why this movie is bad. I can't find a single positive aside from maybe Kirsten Shaw and Van Damme. It just didn't work. It was wasted. I could see why Van Damme was getting up in age, because we do get an action scene where he kicks a guy, but it's very near the end of the film. This is a time where this guy right here, he's the leader of this tribe. They all get captured, and they have Adam Brody from the OC has to go down. He's probably good in that, but I didn't watch OC, so I can't really say. But Adam Brody, like I said, he can be a good actor. He's another famous actor in this. It doesn't work. I don't know how to explain this that much. I'm baffled because I love Van Damme. There's something wrong with it. If you want some Van Damme, go watch his previous films for the studio. He was good in Minions Rise of Gru, slightly just a voice role, but he was good in that. He played a likable character. Here, he's just getting up in age. Van Damme is no spring chicken. He's not like Lionheart or Hard Target, Street Fighter, Sudden Impact. I think. Yeah, Sudden Impact. He's good in those Universal movies. But sadly, he's not good in this. Time Cop, even example Time Cop, he can be good in that. He's good in his earlier films. I just don't think he's good. First off, he's getting up in age. He's no spring chicken. So, I'm going to stop rambling. This isn't so much of a review, but more of a cautionary tale about this film. And now that I talked about most of it, final verdict. Should you see Welcome to the Jungle? No. Hell no. This one is on the list of the worst movies I ever watched. The ending was completely dumb. I'm just going to spoil the ending because you don't really see this. They all get off the island except for this guy, which kind of sort of leads out for a sequel. But as bad as this is, can't really say that this sequel is to be needed. I'm just going to tell you right now, avoid this turd and go watch some of Van Damme's other films. I think you'll have a lot more fun with those than watching this shit of a film. I'm going to tell you right now, this movie was shit from start to finish. That's too bad, because it's just too bad, because an actor like Van Damme and the whole cast, they can be good. But it's a good idea in pen and paper. I liked it. Plus, now before I go, let's actually talk about how the menu is. This is probably the worst menu layout I've ever seen in any film. For one, the menu layout's a lot different. Here you gotta look around. I started the movie and I got subtitles. I was trying to find a way how to turn off the subtitles. I had to run through the menu. The main menu is not user-friendly. I mean, sure, I've seen other Universal movies that have better user-friendly, but just not this. In this case, I don't think I'm going to keep this. Most definitely I'm not going to keep this movie. It's boring. The paper-thin characters are complete idiots. Doesn't work. Half the time Van Damme's not even in the film. I don't know. So, yeah, just don't even waste your time. Welcome to the Jungle. Do not waste your time. I'm begging you. This is more of a cautionary tale of how not to make a movie starring an actor who is no spring chicken. So I'm going to call that a night. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. So check back on my other videos. I hope there's a better film. I should have watched another film prior to this, but hopefully what the next movie will be, hopefully it might be a better watch. So until then, guys, thank you so much for watching my review. Check all my social media pages, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.